Good evening, everyone, and welcome back and welcome aboard. Welcome to episode 128 of New York Red Bulls Discussion Group podcast. I'm Gary Redmond. Pleased to meet you. Greetings and salutations. Well, Saturday was a wild one over in Flushing, but we go through. We're at a place that we haven't been or haven't been seen since 2018, and that is the Eastern Conference Final. We're going to get one last look at what happened over in Flushing, which is a match review with Hudson River Derby, playoff edition, New York City FC versus New York Red Bulls. And, of course, we're going to talk about what's next. We're going to talk about what's next. Our next opponent, which just happens to be Orlando City's Soccer Club over down there in Orlando. And that's going to be where the Eastern Conference Final will take place. And we're going to be doing that with one of our special guests. The one and only Michael Lewis will be joining the show. That's right, the soccer writer himself comes on board, and we talk about what the Red Bulls' chance is, whether they're going to go through or they're going to go home. So stick around for that. I'm sure you guys are going to enjoy that. Now, as always, we like to tell you once and for all, this is your show. So if you happen to miss the live show, which is happening right now, okay, you can always catch the recording on demand on YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Goals.tv. We had some issues last month of loading our new episodes. We're going to bring them online. And, of course, our home from the very beginning, Spotify.com. All of our episodes will be ready for your viewing and listening pleasure the very next day. And this is your show, as we say this all the time. Let us know how we're doing. We wanted to be one of the best out there, and this is where you can give us a hand. We welcome any feedback, good, bad, or different. Let us know. Shoot us an email. We happen to have one. NYRBDG, the podcast, at gmail.com. That is NYRBDG, the podcast, at gmail.com. Well, you know what this means, right? We're to Flushing. We scored 2 goals. NYCFC scores none. So for all intents and purposes and everything else that comes with it, we win the weekend. So, as we like to say around here, blow that horn and blow it loud, because after all, we move on, they go home. You're going to be hearing that a lot, I promise you. So, with that said, let me bring aboard, of course, my 2 terrific co-hosts. And, of course, these guys are on Cloud 9. The one and only Miguel Nunez, live from Casa de Nunez in New Jersey. And, of course, the model, Lanre Badmus. We have to do something about that lighting, because you look like you're like a super villain hiding behind the sun. Anyway, gentlemen, I'm going to ask this one simple question. How was your weekend?
Oh, amazing! Amazing!
I'm Gary. And to everyone who is signing on right now, I see you right here. I see our old friend Lisa Fitino, Tom Potvin, Nicholas Leanos, everybody, the crossover, everyone. Greetings, everyone. I know you guys are I hope you guys got your voices. You're not going to be able to use them, of course. We wish we could, but first things first, before we even begin, I want to give a standing ovation to every one of you that showed up that night. I asked for a simple favor. I asked for one thing. I said, if you're going, no matter where you're sitting at, no matter where you're at, I want to make sure that the boys heard you. And oh my Lord, did they hear you? People were telling me they were watching the TV. It was more like a home game. It was like Red Bull Arena East.
Okay. Gary, I watched that from home. The only support I could hear was from our supporters.
I mean,
come on.
Yeah. Bravissimo. A fantastic performance on and off the pitch. Let's set the stage. Let's rewind the clock just a little bit, 24 hours beforehand. There was a lot of trepidation before this game, Lanre. There was a lot of worry. There was a lot of Sturm and Dang. After all, this was a squad that knocked our teeth out collectively twice, okay? We got punched in the gut in Flushing out in May, and then there was that ridiculous debacle, that 5-1 slap at home. I'll ask you this. At that point, did you think that the boys even had a snowball's chance of going through against City?
Yes. Why?
Really? Okay, tell me.
You mean at that point? You mean after they just beat us?
Yeah.
In our house? Oh
Yeah.
no! God no! At that point, God no! Who did?
Okay. I
I
mean,
had, you remember my post in the Facebook group, my controversial post where I was saying like, look, don't spend your money on this team.
which I had to clean up. Go ahead.
Yeah, exactly.
Again, but go ahead.
I was frustrated, man. I'm standing on business, man. I mean, could I have worded it differently? Yeah, absolutely. But I think I know my frustration was justified, and I'm standing tall in that. But I am so happy and proud to be proven so wrong. And let me tell you, go in the lead up to the game, I was actually so confident. You can tell my girl, I was cool as ice. Just roll with anticipation.
I was there. I was with you guys because you're coming off the buses and everything was following right behind you before I had to go upstairs to report. Let me throw this back at you. Remember Game 2 versus DC United? Okay, with Thierry Henry and all those guys were there, and I called that run, that improbable run, the season of our lives. Okay, up until that point, we had a hard time beating DC United. We couldn't get past those guys, right? We couldn't get past the scum, right? 2014. That was a very magical run until it got ended by New England, unfortunately, at the Eastern Conference Final. Hate to bring that up, but I wanted there was some sort of similarity there, right? DC United had our number in 2014. They were beating us left and right. So coming back over there after we won that first game, we had a shot to win the second game. And we expected DC, we had a one goal lead going into RFK Stadium. We closed the place down. I was among 5,000 supporters. The team bought buses, okay? Not too many sports teams do this, okay? They bought buses, Greyhounds. We all made the 3.5, 4-hour trip and didn't run into a whole lot of traffic all the way there. And we were all entertaining ourselves and enjoying ourselves, right? By the time we came out the parking lot, brothers, okay? Game face. We didn't care. You were hearing left and right that we didn't have a chance, that our season was going to be ended that day. We walked in that place with a chip on our shoulder, okay? We were like, you know what? We don't care. We walking out of there with a win. And we were the loudest section in the building, okay?
I was there. I was there, Gary.
Yeah, we didn't shut up. Every time the DC United fans were booing us, we got louder, okay?
Right.
We didn't care. If we were going to go down, we were going to go down fighting. The team heard us. And then they scored that goal.
Yeah, I believe...
Explosion of noise. And
I believe it was Peggy
Thank you.
Luyindola.
Yeah. Peggy
Luyindola.
Yeah.
Peggy,
got that, yeah. Thank you, Lord. 2-0. Sorry. We went up 2-0 after leg one. Got that goal. Everybody that was wearing red, blue, what have you, even wearing Red Bull gear, exploded. The place shook. Okay. I was there. We were shaking the place left and right. Yeah. They won the game, and it was trademark Mark Fishkin. Best loss ever. After that, we got that. I mean, that's when back then the playoffs was done right. Okay. Road goal acted like 2.
That was it, yeah.
Yeah, it was 2.
Just like all the other soccer competitions around the world. Okay. So getting that road goal by Peggy Luyindola, oh boy. It was like finding gold. It was like finding a gold nugget in the street. Okay. And you're broke. And you're like, whoa, okay. We got something here. We closed the building, y'all. That was the last game we ever played there, and that was the end of it. Okay? Floating people. I mean, I can't tell you the elation. Fans felt like we was on cloud nine, brothers. We were like, oh, we didn't care what happened. The world could end and we didn't care. So I can imagine how you guys felt going home. Cloud nine. You've accomplished a great deed. I wish I was there with you, but couldn't have had a job to do. But I imagine that exact scenario. And I said this to Anthony. I said, my God, 2014, same thing. And now we got to go face a team that we've had issues with, but not so much. So let's talk about the game itself. Okay. We all had trepidation. Everything was fine. Everything. We were all sitting on the edge of our seats. But you guys are pumped up, right? All y'all were all pumped up and ready to go. I heard you guys. They put you just over to my left, but around that corner. So I saw you and I heard you. I was like, where did they put these guys? Because last time they were right in front of us in the media area. But no, they put you guys way over in the corner, basically on the third base side. Okay, yes, it is a baseball stadium, but that's exactly where they put you. And all I saw, Miguel, nothing but red. Nothing but red. There was a sea of red. And I was like, oh, there's our peeps. And you were loud from kickoff to final whistle. Okay.
I'm just wondering what happened to the NYCFC support. Like, what happened,
Well, they had their folks over on right field, in the right field corner.
Yeah.
Okay, that's where they were. I was under the impression that maybe they had them in the Coca-Cola section, Lonray, right there. But I guess maybe it was too high up or whatever the case may be. So I guess they threw them, over there.
Quieter than mice. They were quieter than mice. Couldn't hear them.
I couldn't understand. I couldn't understand it myself. I was like, okay, why you put them over there? But I was under the impression that the place was sold out. But then I saw the ticket prices, $100,000. I'm like, what is wrong with you? Right? Yeah, $1,000 and everything else. I wondered. I was like, is these people insane?
Were they snorting coke?
No. But those were like at the on field. You can get tickets in the lower tier for like $90.
$90 or something like that.
$90, which is still insane. Come on, man.
I mean, $100. And I'm like, okay, look.
Yeah.
I know someone's losing their minds, all right? First of all, and then you're going to complain there was not a whole lot of fans there. Well, I mean, a lot of fans broke, dude. I mean, they're not gonna, this ain't a Knick game. This ain't the Knicks versus the Nets. This ain't Madison Square Garden. Yo, cut those ticket prices in half. Let these people show up, for crying out loud. You priced them out. Your fault. Nobody,
right.
There was no reason those tickets should be that expensive. This is the one. I mean, this is the one team. This is the one time we're giving the city fans a break. So you know what? Whoever thought this was a good idea need to be fired. Straight up. I mean, you don't price your fans out. You don't. It probably one of the biggest games ever. Ever. You need all your supporters, not just some, not just many, all of them. And you price them out. Great for us, though. Great for y'all. I mean,
congratulations, you played yourself.
I mean, the club took care of your tickets, and now that we're going to take care of the tickets. Down on that, you got to get a refund, and we're going to give you a bus ride. So I mean, as much as we love to bring the team to task, this is the one thing they do right. Anytime the team makes a deep run, guess what the team does? We're going to take care of our peeps. We're going to make sure there's going to be a home court advantage. And they did just right. I saluted them. I said, guys, fabulous. Well done. Well done. As I said, no other team does this. Maybe Gotham FC to a point, but they can afford to only bring like maybe a couple of hundred and things, because in their playoff run, that's exactly what they did. They brought their people over to San Diego. Okay. Free trip. Okay. We were going to take maybe a plane load of you, but that's basically it. But hey, they brought their fans there, Miguel. They did. I saw them. Okay, they brought their supporters there. Some of the folks over this on Cloud 9, they were there. I mean, it was, but there was a lot of folks who were living in the local area. They showed up. Some of them, our own Nicholas, he was not that far away, around the corner, down the block. Okay, down the block and all. But he was there, stepped up. As I said, kudos to them. Let's talk about the game. 16. I mean, it was kind of tight. Here and there. There was a whole lot of feeling out process because, unlike the last round, when you get three games, boys, nope, you get one and done. That's it. So it was more of a first mistake, and you're out, and then it's all uphill from there. So it was pretty, touch and go here and there. Red Bulls had a couple of runs, City had a couple of runs, but no damage left and right, and everything was cool at this point. Until the 16th minute, where Felipe Caballo once again shows up and punches yet another team in the face.
They said they know what they both had to avoid to not be on the wrong side of things.
Coronel to send this ball long in the direction of Forsberg making a run. This is brought down. Carbajo with a shot. Go! An absolute laser, and the Red Bulls have the lead on the road.
City, they get caught out here. It is a high line, so it's backpedaling, so the defensive header is no way near as good as what they want it to be. But then just look at Carbajo. One touch strike, bang, it's in the back of the net. You can call this Route 1 football, you can call it whatever you want, but what you can say about this finish is that it's one touch and then it's world class. What a strike. Freeze stood absolutely no chance. I think if you just look at it again, it takes the slightest swerve, and that puts Freeze off, but I don't think he would have got it anyway. What a finish from Carbajo. An incredible player for this team now that gets better game after game after game.
Second opponent, first goal again. Lanre, you were amongst that group when the fans just went nuts. I've talked about the sheer volume of the fans cheering. It was insane. It exploded from left field. We felt it from there. That's how loud it was, Miguel. Loud. It was my goodness. And seeing the goal live as it happened, whoa.
Let me tell you.
The red fist has struck again.
Yeah, also, Gary, let me just say that the whole stadium had Red Bulls fans everywhere.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Because I was just looking on TV, there were pockets of red everywhere.
Yeah.
Okay. And I think it wasn't just only the people upstairs.
No, it was everywhere.
People everywhere. Okay. And this is why I thought that it was best for us to play in YCFC, because of our guys could
the
easily
close proximity, everybody around the city. I'm sure there were a lot of we have a lot of brothers and sisters, guys, in Queens. Okay, they easily made the trip, hopped on the number 7 train. Me, I'm coming from Manhattan. Okay, the 7 train wasn't going into the city, so no problem. Kids just went to Penn Station, hopped on the railroad. Voila, 10 minutes later, there it was. 5-minute walk. Boom, I was there. No big deal. But there were Red Bull fans everywhere. I think to the demise of many of the NYCFC fans who figured that people were really going to show up en masse. But again, ticket prices, okay? Right. Who in their right mind thought it was a good idea to overcharge? Okay, I'm thinking maybe it was just Ticketmaster, but no, it was Ticketmaster in the club, Lanre.
Yeah. It was unreal.
I said, what the?
That's not my problem. Shout out to Viking Army. Thankfully, that's not my problem. Also, shout out to my boy Joao. He and I were talking. He was saying, at the game, let's survive the first 15. If we survive the first 15, we'll be golden. And look at that, we scored minute 16. Shout out my boy Joao. The crossover, y'all gotta go and check him out. His latest vlog just went up today about the game. It was incredible. Yeah, I couldn't believe that went in. That was an absolute rocket.
We'll have him on the show
soon. Ryan rocket from Felipe Carballo. He's showing exactly why we bought him, or why we loaned him in from Gremio. These big time, big pressure moments, he's coming in, he's delivering. Unsung hero.
He's
Felipe
earning
Carvalho and
himself a contract, guys. I'm like, wow. I mean, wow. And from what I understood from a lot of guys from Gremio, he said, "Yo, give props also to Elias Manuel. Gave him a little buzz in his ear. Said, yo, you gotta come down here, man. It's fun down here. Players talk to other players, and they give great endorsements. So now we had a 1-0 lead. Okay. City fans that sat after they got stunned from that goal for about maybe 10 to 15 minutes. And just when you thought that City had a chance to get back in it, right, guys? Because they were going once again, they were going back and forth, but there was something different this time, right? Every time they try to dump down the sidelines or try to go wide on a narrow field, why, I don't know why that is. But this is the one thing that City knows how to do very well, that plays right into the Red Bulls' advantage, playing from the back. I don't know why they do this, okay? But you can hear the groans, okay, from many of the City supporters. Like, oh, come on, you're going to do that? Yo, lob the ball over them, man. Get that, get Rodriguez in there. No, they're playing from the back. Tap, 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 intercepted. Okay, let's go to the right side. Tap, 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 intercepted. Okay, let's go through the middle again. Miguel, tap, 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 intercepted. So Red Bulls were all over the place. Okay, they were cutting off the lanes. They were making damn sure none of the guys up front made that connection. And if they did, they got snuffed out. So that was a little different. And the Red Bulls had the ball going in. And before you know it, here it is, 25th minute. Dante Van Zier.
They work hard on the set pieces. They've got big players in the box as well.
Signal by Forsberg. That's Morgan going up for it, and this ball is in the back of the net. The Red Bulls are celebrating, and yes, it will count. Tolkien in the middle of it all. Let's see what the referee and our friends in Arlington, Texas have to say.
It's the second ball game when the balls come into the box. And just watch here. It's Van Zier. He's the one that is most alert. And I think NYC, they believe that there's an offside. But I don't think there is. It looks like Parks is just playing Van Zier onside. And he puts the ball into the corner. And that's when it comes down to being alert. As we just see it again here, I think he's onside. Van Zier. It's a lovely finish into the far corner. But like I say, it's about the second ball. Who's most alert? Who's most alive to find it? And once again, it's Red Bulls.
2-0.
Yeah, Gary, in regards to that goal, it was interesting because I thought he was offside.
I did too for a second.
The announcer said the ball came into the box. It went off an NYCFC player. And so the offside didn't matter. Okay. So that's why, he put it in.
I played him onside too.
Yeah, played him onside, which led to this question.
Yeah.
How do you lose sight of a ball off a corner kick? I know things are supposed to be, chaotic and everyone pushing and shoving and everything else. But at least you should know where the ball is, right? And then somehow they lost sight of it. Ball pops loose. Right to Van Zier, who says, "Thank you very much. I'll take it," and take it to go.
Yeah.
It's like, in pro football, that's a fumble. Okay, that's basically it. That's a fumble. So you took advantage. The Red Bulls took advantage of a fumble and scored in the end zone. Ouch. Okay. I saw everybody wearing powder blue threw up their hands like, what the? Oh, you got to be kidding me. Yelling and screaming and cursing and everything else. I'm saying, but despite that, 2-0 lead, nervous. I'm saying to myself, okay, we got 2-0 lead. Okay, everyone knows.
That's the worst score.
Worst score line in history.
Worst lead.
2-0. Ask Cincinnati, who can't hold a 2-0 lead at times, okay? In some of the biggest games they played. I mean, Parks, yes, played him offside. He was never off. Even after the game, he thought it came off a defender, which kept him on, but no. All was on. Steve is right. Steve is correct. But again, begs the question: how in the world how do you lose a ball? I mean, it hit you. Okay, so I'm like, it just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. It was crazy, and Van Zier was so quick, and that's just him. He's a poacher. Loose ball in the box, and he's standing in the neighborhood. You know he's going to pounce on that and put that in. And it goes back to my question. He was not aware. They were not aware where the ball was. Crazy. Talk about fundamental mistakes. And one other thing, and which we're going to talk about this down the line, right? You figured at this point that the head coach, Nick Cushing, right? Okay, I'm down to, I got an embarrassment of riches. I got guys coming off the bench that could score, right, Miguel? Right, Laurie? We look through the roster and we like, oh, Tavon Gray. Oh, damn. He did damage to us the last time he came off the bench. Embarrassment of riches. No. He didn't sub these guys until late. Strange. Odd. Confusing. Made no matter to us, but it was. I'm saying this to Anthony. Don't you think this guy should be making subs by now? You need some offense. You need to start putting pressure on their pressure. Nothing. It was very little wonder that when halftime came after those 2 goals, fans booed. Okay, not so much of the score line, but they looked frustrated. They were fouling our guys heavy, right? Trying to get them off our game. Red Bull stayed firm. Said, okay, hey, we love that type of party. Keep fouling all over the place.
Stood on business.
Stood on business. And as the go ahead, Miguel.
Now, also, Gary, I did want to point out that after all that, man, they had their chances. Okay?
Yes. Let's not walk away without talking about that, though. Okay?
Right. I think it was they have a Costa Rican forward. I forgot
Alonso
his name, but
Alonso Martinez.
They mentioned that he had scored.
RBA, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, and also they pointed out that he had scored like this past Tuesday against whoever Costa Rica played. But he had his chances, and they could have tied it up. They might have won, okay, if they had taken their chances, But so, I mean, I could say, you know what, F them, but we move on. And sometimes you have to have that luck of, dare I say it, Gary, the luck of champions. Okay.
The luck of champions. Okay. I mean, when it's, when it was all said and done, and I mean, of course, Nashville City did make their run. They still, they made their run. They started knocking on the door, Lonray. And someone made a magnificent defensive stop. 3 of them.
Oh, Reyes.
Okay.
Reyes.
One of them.
Okay.
6 tackle right in the middle of the box, stopping Martinez cold. Otherwise, it was him and Cornell. Cornell, goal. Usually those runs end in the ball ending in the back of the net. Made that stop, made that scissor tackle, banged it out the box. At that point, everybody wearing red was going nuts.
That was the game of his life, Gary. And let me ask you something. Was it ever ascertained what went on between Reyes and Maxi Morales?
Okay. Let me explain. Yeah, well, hold on. Someone who was actually there, and I asked that question among the NYCFC hoi polloi.
Okay.
Apparently when the final whistle ended, they were closer to where the NYCFC supporters were standing, chanting over in right field. Okay. And apparently they started doing this, okay, as they were walking by, right? Some took exception to that, and you saw the thing, garbage being thrown onto the field, okay? Maxi Morales came over and tried to defend their honor. Didn't like that. Didn't like the idea of having some of the hated rival showing up in front of their fans. understandable. But I think he took it just a bit too far because they were nowhere at that facility, at that side. Okay. Even JMI was doing, hey, and didn't like that. First thing, Santiago, first thing, he attacked JMI. JMI just walked away, just laughed. Like, look, man, you're going home. We're going home. You're going home. Yeah. They were all throwing drinks. They're going to think that Tolkien, he caught them midair. Maxie got mad. He got mad. He didn't like the fact that their rivals were showing up their fans. I mean, picture how PO'd we were when FC Cincinnati was celebrating in front of our crew. Okay,
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty classist. But one major difference. While there was considerable distance between them and their supporters, FC Cincinnati went right to their faces.
Yes.
That was it. That's why I said, I want revenge. Okay. I want the Red Bulls to do the same thing to you guys at the Bailey. Y'all gonna, but I got the best revenge. You got knocked out. At least my girlfriend told me.
By the team we
that.
knocked out.
When the team we knocked out. Okay. Nice. So that's about it. So
Beautiful.
yeah, that's all right, Steve. NYCFC fans were throwing drinks at Tolkien. He caught a drink midair. Maxie got upset because he was under the impression he was mouthing off, and a fan said, he was pointing and said, get out of here. Get out. Why don't you take the win and get out of here? Can't. I mean, they're in the neighborhood. And it's not like they were jumping in the seats. First of all, that's pretty hot, hard to do. The wall is pretty high up. Okay. So, and the chances of you getting injured is pretty damn high. So, no, I don't think you want to cause a riot there. So, when it was all said and done after the final whistle, the Red Bulls move on to the Eastern, I'd say Western, to the Eastern Conference Final, 2-0. Carballo in the 16th minute. Van Zier, also in the 25th. On the goal with Carballo, Van Zier got an assist. It's 2 goals for his first season with the club, which is tied for the most franchise history and ranked 7th for the most goals of the playoffs during a player's first season with the club. Dante Van Zier scored his 11th assists across all competitions, which was the most by Red Bull players since guess who, fellas? Guess who?
Thierry Henry?
Nope. Try again.
Sasha
Bingo.
Klesser.
Nope. Bingo. Lonray had the right answer. Bradley Wright
There
Phillips
you go.
in 2018, which was
You
the
win a
last
prize,
time.
Lonray.
Which was the last time they were in the Eastern Conference Final. Van Zier has recorded 3-goal contributions last 2 matches. He scored his 5th goal across all competitions for New York this season, and it was his first career MLS Cup playoff goal. Remember how we were worried about this kid that he couldn't score a goal? Look what's happening now. He's eating up.
It's getting hot at the right time.
He's heating up. And this is what most of the people among the media were saying the same thing. So you got, think about it. You got Emil Forsberg coming back. He's healthy. Dante Van Zier, he's getting warmed up. If he gets warmed up, look out. But yet, everyone's focusing on Lewis Morgan, rightfully so, because he's dangerous by himself. But no one's looking at Dante. They're just saying, Dante ain't gonna do nothing. But yet there he is doing something. he's go ask Columbus. Columbus should have said, yo, man, don't sleep on Dante. And what happens? He scores a goal, then knocks you guys out.
Yeah, also, Gary, I think we should talk about the fact that I think we've lost Sean Nealis for the rest of the season, which is only 2 games. But, with that concussion protocol, I don't think he'd be back even if we go through.
Well, that's what we're going to.
Yeah.
Well, that's what we need to check on. There's a scheduled media availability on Wednesday. We will be asking that very question if he's going to be okay and right his reign. And even though he's not, we do have an able-bodied, replacement.
Noah Ehle, yeah, he's going to have to have.
I'm sure
2 games of his life. Okay?
I'm sure that he wouldn't have any problem stepping up and stepping in, which he has done so throughout the entire season. The thing is that when you step in, when you enter these type of situations, yeah, you're worried about the mistakes. Yes, you are. You're worried about those errors that come up. But unfortunately, well, then again, he might, you might, he might step up and do a thing. But then again, one thing about Sean Nealis, he's not a lightweight. Okay, big boy. Okay, he got slam danced. Okay, the shoulder and everything else. He got clocked pretty good. Let's see how he is after some rest and everything else, to see how he is and get him ready for Saturday. For now, we got somebody to replace him. So there you go. All right, more stuff. Carlos Coronel had a couple of saves. One of them point blank from Mr. from Mr. Martinez. Okay, he recorded 7 saves, second highest in single match tally of his MLS career. 7 saves, boys. The man was a wall. Okay, with the win, Coronel surpasses Tony Meola for second place in franchise history for goalkeeper in wins across all competitions. Bravo. Bravo. That was one record no one didn't think it would touch. Okay. He also recorded his 7th career shutout, 0, across all competitions against NYCFC. They're sick of him. Okay. They're sick of him. They're sick of seeing him. Okay. The Red Bulls have advanced to the conference finals for the first time in 2018 and the 6th time in franchise history. Okay. Only 1-1. Okay, that was back in 2008. At that point, it's not the imagine that for just 1 second. Okay, another indictment against Major League Soccer, Miguel. You and I've been watching this league and watching since day one. Okay, back in 1995. How many teams do you know that has a Western Conference final title and soon to be an Eastern Conference title? Same league.
Well, the Red Bulls have the Western Conference trophy.
Yeah. I want to talk to the Grand Prix and say, you know what? Put that damn thing up on the wall. Okay, you won.
Right.
Okay, stop hiding that damn thing. You won. Okay.
Right, and that was the year. That was the year that 2 Eastern Conference teams went to the MLS Cup final. Because it was Columbus against Rebels. At LA, I was there.
Okay? You were there, Carson, California.
Yeah.
So the franchise, the 6th time in franchise history, only won 1. Okay, and of course, naturally, New York has won 2 road matches during the Audi. We have to mention their name, of course. 2024 MLS Cup playoffs, the most for the club in a single postseason since 2017. Not too shabby. And finally, for the first time ever, boys and girls, the Red Bulls, your Red Bulls, okay, has posted 2 shutouts in the postseason for the very first time since 2018. First shutout versus Columbus, and now NYCFC. So let's close the book. Let's close the book and the door on Citi Field, which I did. Took one nice photo, posted it online, and said the following. Goodbye, Citi Field. No, good night, Citi Field. Goodbye, NYCFC. Some people got upset about that, including my cousin. He didn't take that too kindly. He said, yo, man, why you ragging on my team? Because you lost. What do you want? And you reneged on your bet. You didn't say New Yorkers Reds. I'll let that go. And
when is your stadium opening, Gary? When is your stadium opening?
2027.
Oh, okay. Yeah, wow. I thought it was like next year, but we're gonna have to go to through this crap again.
Yeah, 2 more years.
2 more years, and from the from the pictures and everything else, it's going to be a nice looking building, boy. And the supporter section is going to have their own section, okay, where they're going to be standing on the wall, the blue wall, okay. No second deck, just one big wall going from the field to the roof. Not bad. Okay,
I feel that there's stadiums like that. Isn't Orlando like that? Isn't the Minnesota stadium like that?
Minnesota, yes.
Orlando, yes. I've been there.
Orlando, yes. Orlando, yes.
The LAFC stadium?
LAFC, yes, they do.
Like that. Yeah.
So they're going to be homeless no more in about 2 years, provided if it somehow gets built. But Anthony feels that it's not going to get built because of Steve Cohen. He wants the same spot for his casino, but we'll see.
Yes.
I thought construction had started already.
Not quite.
No?
No,
Oh my God!
not quite.
I can't wait for them
Not-
have to move to Vegas because they can't get this shit done.
Oh,
man.
look,
That's
look,
hilarious.
Lisa
Rumor has
says,
it been pushed. It hasn't been official yet, Lisa. But
Okay.
all I know is when I look
Wow.
at that place, I don't see the type of construction equipment that you see when something needs to dig foundations. I don't see it. So took a little sneak out there. They didn't see it, but we'll see. We'll see. Things have changed. So we're going to take ourselves a break. We're still hoping that Michael Lewis can join us in about a few minutes. But when we return, Lonray and Miguel tell the story that is Orlando City, our next opponent. Stick around, kids. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Okay, so now that NYCFC has gone to the wayside and we can close the book on them, let's talk about Eastern Conference Final, our next matchup. And if you think things are a little tense with City, they're about to get a little worse with Orlando City. This is a club, Lonray, if you look at their history against us, they're a pain. Okay. I mean, there's no other way to basically describe this club. Okay. You look at the history and you say to yourself, great, does it have to be these guys? And part of that has to deal with the coach, Oscar Pereira, who is, I would say, engineered for competitions like this. He's done it with a young crew with FC Dallas. Remember? I mean, knocking out big boys, okay? The LA Galaxies, okay? The Seattle Sounders and the like, okay? With just kids, boys and girls. Kids! Okay? And knocking these guys out. He's an excellent coach, okay?
One of the best this league has to offer.
I mean, he is, okay? But when you look at the record overall, and here we're going to bring this up to you, okay? Plain and simple, all time 10, 9, and 3 at Orlando, 4, 5, and 2. One of those draws where they had a win until Mr. Centerfield screwed up somehow. I mean, it's tough to it's tough to basically look at this team and go, we got this. Even from some of our Red Bull fans who live down in Orlando, they tell us, we can beat these guys in a good day. Somehow, well, Lonray, go ahead. I hate to have you do this, but this is where you inject some reality here.
Well, Orlando are the highest team remaining in the Eastern Conference for a reason. The way Oscar Pereira has his team set up, he has a 4-2-3-1. That dangerous guy, the young guy Facundo Torres, World Cup veteran with Uruguay. 14 goals, 3 assists in the regular season. He's played such a key part for them in the playoffs. He helped get them over the line in Game 3 against Charlotte. Send it to the penalty shootout. He's a wizard with the ball. You got Martino Ojeda, the attacking midfielder from Argentina. You have Angulo. Ivan Angulo, the Colombian. You got Ramiro Enrique, scored the game winner against Atlanta last night. They're a hell of a team. And, of course, Pedro Gallese, World Cup veteran, shot stopper for Peru.
Getting shots by him? Yeah, that's going to be a little tough. That's a tough
I don't want to see him in the penalty shootout, let me tell you.
No, shot stopper.
He's a monster and a half.
Shot stopper.
And they've just been such a pain in our ass. Whether we win, whether we beat them, whether they beat us, pain in the ass. I was down there. I have to bring this up before anybody else does. I was down there back in 2022 in that U.S. Open Cup semifinal. When Lewis Morgan opened the scoring, and then it was a horrible day, horrible night. Honestly, completely ruined that trip because I did Austin, My friends and I, we did Austin and then Orlando back to back.
That was a great win at Austin. I remember that.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. And then that Orlando game, that Open Cup semifinal just completely ruined it, killed the vibes. I could not wait to get out of there. I have beef with that mouse. I have beef with that mouse. There's an infamous picture, that my friends, will know about. If you know, you know. I probably sent it in a group chat at some point, a couple times. That my feelings about that mouse were made very, very clear. So I wanted Atlanta. I'm not gonna lie. I wanted revenge for 2018, but this is still Reese's revenge tour, right? We beat Columbus, we beat NYCFC. Now we're gonna have to go through Orlando. We're gonna get revenge for that Open Cup semifinal. We're gonna get revenge on that mouse. We're gonna turn him in the mincemeat. That's the plan. That's the goal. Inshallah, it happens. I can't wait. I need that Orlando pack rolled up by the 30th minute, the same way we did against NYCFC. That I don't know what it is about Orlando going down there. That home crowd is a beast.
Yeah, they are.
Home crowd is a beast. It's a real home field advantage down there. They props to them. They do a hell of a job. They're assholes on social media, but they do a hell of a job supporting their team.
Miguel,
I have to say, they are assholes on social media. But respect.
Miguel, on the flip side of that, the Red Bulls, you're looking at their roster, you're looking at everything that's going to last since the playoffs have begun. And then you look at Orlando and you try to see where the gaps are. Okay, I'll be frank. They got a shot on these guys or nah? Talk to us.
No, Gary. They're like the great Mark Fishkin once said, "There's no reason that we can't go down there and get a win." Gary, okay. I mean, the only reason they scored a goal was because it was unfortunate. He was hot before Orlando, but Brad Guzan, man, he went up for a ball, and then he dropped it, and it went out the back for a corner kick.
So basically, the only lone goal was scored on a mistake. It
was a mistake to get them the corner kick where they scored a goal, and and that kid, he made a good play. He slid and somehow kicked the ball into the net. But other than that, I didn't think they had a great chance of scoring. Okay. So we can definitely get it done. We can definitely get it done, Gary. Okay, Coronel stays hot, and then we get some more assists out of Forsberg to our forwards. Like a Van Zier or maybe Lewis Morgan comes to life.
We talked about this in a pregame show, right? We talked about this in a pre-show. Everyone's focusing on Lewis Morgan. They're not focusing on Van Zier, and that's great for Van Zier because they're like, they're sleeping on me, but they know they happen to be dangerous. If that ball is ever loose in the box and he happens to be in that vicinity, he has a good chance of bringing it in. But you know what I did see in the last in this playoff run? And although he hasn't scored a goal, Morgan, you notice how hungrier he gets when he doesn't get that goal? And it's not like Forsberg, where we're a different team with Forsberg in the middle of the park. He's been feeding, He's been feeding Morgan, and he's been getting his spots. Sure, he's got to do a double team and everything, and that's and honestly, that's smart. You want to make sure that their home run hitter is covered. But did you pick your poison here? If you gang up on Morgan, there's Van Zier just waiting to center field, waiting for that ball to pop loose, and off the races he goes. Okay.
Right.
And if that doesn't work, you're forgetting one other person, Elias Manuel. They're sick of him. He steps on the field. He's done very well against Orlando.
Right. He scored several goals against Orlando.
Second to
not quite Charlotte, but yes.
Second to Charlotte. Not quite, but he's a terrorist. Every time he steps on the field, he gets at least one. Okay, so you got to keep you really, really. I'm not saying that none of these guys are I'm not saying the guys come off the bench are like guys you need to be scared of, like, Messi coming off the damn bench or something like that. But they can actually do damage if you let them. Now, the one thing that everyone keeps telling me about Orlando is that they're not that impressive. But overlooking these guys, not a good idea. They, as you just illustrated, Lonray, that's a big mistake. They got quality. They got dudes that can ball. Okay, so the biggest that I see in this match, vis-a-vis midfield. Okay.
Yes.
Anybody who rules that midfield is going to rule the game. Do I like the Red Bulls' chances? We're going to talk about predictions very shortly, about 10 minutes. Do I like our chances against Orlando versus, say, I don't know, Atlanta, who Atlanta can sometimes stub their toe at certain moments. I mean, they're a good side. I mean, you can't always depend on Brad Guzan to bail you out. But they did pretty well against Miami of all teams. Okay.
Right, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you look at even the folks over into Miami, right? They're all wondering how in the heck did we like how do we let these guys beat us? You got Jordi Alba complaining to the league. What kind of league plays 3 games in the playoff? Ours. Apparently, he figured
it's supposed to. That's the format that was supposed to favor teams like his team, right. And yet you still choked. I mean, that's all on you, man. That's all on you. It's supposed to favor you guys.
Right.
And you
Not
still
a
threw that
single
away.
individual. I mean, I love that. I love Fort Lauderdale. That's where they're playing at. But Miami, they're a big. They're a big event town. Okay, just like New York, they're a big event town, and if things fall south,
can't fill up stadiums for shit though. Not even the Heat.
Yeah,
during the LeBron era.
Yeah, we're not gonna go there. But anyway, I think of course you would. But the one thing that's giving me, that's I'm seeing my girlfriend's point. Forsberg, Caballo, those two, has been a force both in attack and defense, and so. If they can able to bring their A game, not to mention, you're also forgetting Peter Stroud. He comes off the bench and he seems to lock things down the minute he steps up. Okay. Edelman, Daniel, who's been doing a terrific job.
I thought he had a great game.
Despite
Edelman,
slam dance by big boys. I mean, and they have big dudes in the midfield. So I'm a little worried about Daniel, but then he's a pit bull that runs. He likes to bite at ankles and keep it going. Okay. So I'm not saying our midfield is soft, not by a long shot. Okay. However, it's going to take a 90-minute game to beat this crew. And I'll tell you why. You step off the gas anytime. We've seen it. And Lonray, you're right. If you're staying step by step with this crew, you got a chance.
Yes.
Okay? You got a chance. Slack off just 1 minute. Slack off, rest defense or what have you against this crew. And that's Oscar Pariah. He's got these guys running the long game. He's like to say, wait, you want to press? Go right ahead. In this heat and everything else, go ahead. Go ahead. We know you're going to get tired by minute 80. And that's when we take you. It's not just
that was the problem with Red Bulls teams in the near past.
Yeah.
At minute 75, they're gassed.
Completely.
I mean, nobody had a bad game, and I agree with Mark. We did not have a bad game on Saturday. Nobody. Everybody played their role. Everybody played. It's going to take the same performance, against this team.
Reyes has to have a monumental game.
I mean,
and also Ale, who is replacing Neelis.
I mean,
he's got to have a monumental game.
Yeah, everyone's got to step up. There's no such thing, and Steve perfectly, perfectly. They got. Oops, sorry. Hey, stop it. They got great attackers out wide. That's an issue. Okay, that's a huge issue. Do I think that's going to be think that's going to be a problem. Only if you're able to neutralize these guys. That's the one thing about that stadium. They have a wide ass field. Okay, they will make you run and run and run, and then they let the heat take care of you. One thing. This is probably the reason why the Red Bulls are pretty much conditioned. They're probably one of the best conditioned teams that I have seen. Okay, so running around and stuff like that should bother these guys. Okay, they played in Orlando in the heat and everything else. Didn't bother them too much. The only thing that we sometimes worry about is the mistakes. And that's what I'm worried about. You make a mistake with this crew, and next thing you know, you're down a goal, which you don't really want to be because they can tighten things up, and such like that. So,
well, I'm looking at the weather right now for Orlando for Saturday. The high is only 73 degrees, and it'll definitely be cooler. It'll be about like 60, like low 60s by the time the game kicks off at 7:30. So, there's not like the sweltering heat like it was in July 2022.
Oh no, that kind of favors us to a degree. Okay,
it does.
That's playing a game in mid-April, mid-May. Okay,
exactly.
No heat, no humidity, just warmth. That's it. So it might, it might work slightly against Orlando because they love playing in that heat and humidity. And if you're running around in that, and all of a sudden things get a little nippy out there, you tend to slow things down, because you're so used to it. But we're talking about very conditioning. Okay, boys. We want to apologize to everyone. We thought we was going to have Michael Lewis with us, but that's okay. We'll probably pick him up as we go along toward the end of our show. Let's talk predictions. Miguel, oh boy, this is the dangerous part of a show. You know what? I'm going to ask everyone else as well. Orlando City versus New York Red Bull. How do you see this going out for the Eastern Conference Final?
We're gonna win.
Yeah.
Somehow I thought this was a dumb question, but go ahead. I'd like to have a score line, please.
Okay, let me. I'm going to give you 2-1. Okay,
2-1.
Yes,
2-1. Okay,
and then I'll be right there when it's final. I'm going to be booking my flight. Okay, to LA. All right. Thank you.
Please, a much cheaper flight than Seattle.
Right. We don't want to be playing on that field, let me tell you,
All right. Lonray, you're next.
3-1 Red Bulls.
3-1. Oh, we're getting greedy now, aren't we?
Yeah. Okay, I said 2-1 against NYCFC. We won 2-0. That went better than I expected. So I'm really hoping for a 3-1 win. I think their front 3 or 4 is about as good as our front 3, but I think we'll show more quality on the day. I think Forsberg, I don't think they've seen anybody like him. And when he's supplying those balls to Morgan and Van Zier, that triple threat's gonna go crazy. And then Felipe Carballo bringing the ball up, being a bull from the midfield. I don't think they can handle that like that. If we just stay compact, we just keep doing the same things we've been doing, winning the midfield battle with ease. We should win.
My prediction. 2-1 as well, except we get a goal late. Okay. We're playing a team that is not going to be, they're not going to be shy defensively. If I know Pereira, they're going to try to lock us down just as much as we're going to lock them down. Don't be surprised if it goes into OT. If it goes into extra time, and then everyone's going to hold their collective breath, because if it goes to a shootout, you got Coronel versus Galassi, and I'm giving the edge to Galassi.
Oh,
Galassi, yeah.
Galassi. I'm going, Galassi,
Galassi. You say
Galassi. I'm giving the edge to him. He's a shot stopper. Okay, he did. I mean, they did it. He's done it before, lots of times. Okay. If I need somebody up in goal that I need to make saves, I want him. Coronel, he's playing inspired soccer right now. Nothing is really getting by him right now. And that's also with their defense. The defense is also stepping up. So I'm expecting those 5, okay, to tighten things down, because they're going to, the one thing about Orlando, they come at you in waves. They do. They just simply, all right, first guy missed, here comes the second wave. Then you got midfielders coming in. You got to control those passes. You got to actually control those touches. You got to make sure that nobody gets, gets on a run, because if they do, God help you. Okay, then you got to run those guys down. Many of those midfielders, especially on the wings, they're quick. They're really quick. Okay, and next thing you know, they're in the box. Okay, certainly for goodness, he's a pain. Okay, he really is a pain.
We gotta play a five. I think we gotta play a 5-man backline, or rather, maybe like a 3-4-1-2. Have Tolkien and Harper as wingbacks. I think that's where that setup gave Columbus and NYCFC so many problems. They couldn't attack down the wing like they're normally used to. So I think if we do that, I think we got a good chance of neutralizing Angulo and Torres.
Yeah, Angulo and
Torres, they can't do anything.
Right, that's true. Neutralize him. That's the one guy you got to neutralize. That's the one thing that I see. And Nick, you're right. And this is exactly what my girlfriend says. You wipe him off the equation, they can't. As he goes, so does Orlando. You take him out of that, they're going to have to hunt for goals. And that falls right into the advantage of the Red Bulls. But then again, the Red Bulls have to do something when they get the ball. And that is, well, you got to score, okay? Right, you can't be like 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, home for 1-0 lead, because that's going to evaporate toward the end of the game. And Steve's right. You got to frustrate and keep the ball out of play as much as possible. Cut off their lanes. Body them if you have to. You don't have to hurt guys left and right. I don't want you picking up silly yellow cards and getting, giving these guys chances, chances on free kicks. They're not that great on free kicks. They really aren't. Okay. And you're right. Did we forget what Carlos did with the Crew? No, we did not. However,
never.
They're not. But I said shot stopper. Okay. I'm not saying that Carlos is not soft in that area, but we have seen what Gaese has done. We have seen it. He's no joke. He's no joke. He waits for this and everything else. So we shall see. As you know, the game takes place on Saturday, 7:30. I don't know why this isn't on national TV, but I digress. Right. It's got to be, of course, on Apple TV. And the Red Bulls were supposed to, I've heard that the Red Bulls are supposed to be working on a watch party in Hoboken. I'm checking with Anthony to see if that is the case. If that's so, I'm going to post that information on the group page. If you're in New Jersey or somewhere near the area, go. Okay. They're going to have snacks. They're going to have a lot of the stuff that's supposed to be fun there. Go. I mean, I forgot the name of the.
Is that at the bar Mulligans?
Mulligans?
Yes. Yeah. Start of the season.
That's the bar where we met, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. That's the bar where we had our annual preseason meeting. And we're going back there again. Mulligans in February. So we're going to be going back there again. But I mean, Mulligans is over there. Go. Have a good time. Also, I believe Torresita, they're going to have their little, and for those in the New York area, of course, it's going to be, of course, I keep forgetting the blasted name.
Legends.
Legends. They always take good care of, take care of everybody in Red Bull. There are going to be some people down there. And yours truly will be doing this right here, along with for the game thread and everything else. So we're going to be watching the action right here. So, wow. So after we have our turkey and Thanksgiving to everyone, and of course, naturally for, to everyone out there, please enjoy yourself. He's out there. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. I mean, after this, you definitely enjoy it. Then get set up for Friday, because Saturday comes and things get, games get real at that time. Next week, we hope to be talking about MLS Cup final rather than the season ending at that point. We got technically one less show. We got one more show to go, depending on the season ends. If they win on Saturday, we got another show. Okay, we're talking about the final because I believe it happened in successive time between December 5th is where MLS Cup is going to take place. So they only get
no. It's December 7th. Yeah,
December 7th. So no break in between. Oh, okay. This is why this whole thing was a little silly anyway. But anyway,
used to be 2 weeks. If I'm not mistaken.
No. They're going just right into that. So whoever wins, you'll get no rest. So here you go. So let's hope we do the same thing that they did on Saturday, and hopefully we can able to get to the final. Wouldn't that be fun, right? We never think that was going to happen, but here we are. Just we happen to be in the final. Let's go Red Bulls. Take care of business. And for those of you who are going, be loud. Be proud. This is the season of our lives. And it's going to get easier from here. Make sure the boys hear you. Until then, Lon Ray Badmus, for Miguel Nunez. This is Gary Redmond. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you next week. Until then, goodbye for now.